Hey, how you guys doing? It's me, Deshaun Scott again. So our speech that we'll be doing this week is going to be based on what we picked in week one, as far as our choice of topic. We pick any choice. My choice that I picked was tattoo policies and guidelines within the military because I am in the Air Force and how it affects people that are in the military and people that want to join. First off, I'm going to let you guys know that I decided to do my speech outside because I'm in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, and it's 70 degrees outside. So I don't know where you're at on December 7th of this great year, but it's 70 degrees, so that's how I'm going to do mine. Anyway, so like I said, we got to pick our choice on what we want to do. Like I said, mine's going to be on tattoo guidelines and policies and how it affects people. So the very first thing I'm going to let you guys know is inform you guys on the rules themselves. Number one rule for me being in the Air Force, is I can't have tattoos that are excessive. Excessive in the military or in the Air Force would be 25%. So no more than 25% of my exposed area can be tattooed, pretty much. So if you take your two arms, you cut them from your elbow down to your wrist, you have forearms. If you cut those forearms in half, then each part would be 25%, correct? So for me, I'm a little above those guidelines. How it affects me is that pretty much I have to wear long sleeve shirts all the time. So it's kind of an unspoken word, or rule. So if I want to wear long sleeve shirts to cover myself, then I'm covered. It's CYA, like cover my butt. Um, but the rule itself, I'm not really allowed to have more than 25%, even though the majority of the Air Force does. B, you also have the Army. The Army, back when Iraq and Afghanistan were first starting, they needed an abundance of people to help out with Iraqi freedom and enduring freedom. Enduring freedom and those wars that were coming about. So they were letting people join with tattoos on their necks, on their hands, above their collarbone, which is a no-go in most military branches. Um, but now they have a new rule where you can't have that many tattoos, and they're actually kicking people out who don't want to get those removed because they're saying, why can't I be grandfathered in? Because at one point you did say it was okay for me to have those tattoos, and now you want to kick me out for it. So sometimes it's a little iffy situation. Also, with the Navy, they have the oldest rule in the branches where they are actually allowed to have as many tattoos as they want, as long as it can't be seen through or not covered by your white service blues. Well, it's first called service blues in the Air Force. I don't know what it's called in the Navy, but their white service gowns they wear with their bucket hat. As long as you can't see it through that, then you can have as many as you want. So they can have as many as they want on their stomach, on their torso, arms. As long as they can't be seen, they're fine. I wish we had those guidelines because that's where I fall in. Also for another branch, the Marines, they are allowed to have tattoos, um, but they are probably the strictest one. Like I don't think I could go with their rules because they're only allowed to have 4 tattoos for commissioned and warrant officers. They're only allowed to have 4 tattoos, and they can't be bigger than a fist. So if I take my forearm, that's I could have 4 of those. Uh, so the reason why I bring up these rules is because they're affecting a lot of people in a lot of different ways. We're getting told that tattoos are unprofessional. Uh, kind of like for the ones that are in the military and they see this, like the ones that are in the Air Force, that see the thing with they understand the whole new EPR system, the Enlisted Performance Report. Uh, they talk about inflation and bias. That's why they're changing the old one and bringing in the new one, so it's not inflated and it's not biased. But who is actually coming up with rules saying that having tattoos are unprofessional? I believe that if rules come out as far as tattoos, it should be in effect to where the tattoos can't be vulgar in sense. Because the tattoos that I have on my body, I had a chief one day ask me, this was about 2 years ago, he asked me, and he looked at me and he said, are those gang related? A real question. Chief asked me, are those gang related? He looked like he come from a troubled past. And the ones we were talking about, I can't really show you because the camera view. But on my inner forearm, I have 2 roses, 2 red roses. And he asked me what those were. Are they gang related? He thought it was a blood. And I told him, I said, no. I said, that's when my son and my daughter died. So it's just a very, it's hard to come around. It's the same thing as like racism. People, it's the old culture. People don't want to change. It's usually the older people, the older generation that don't want to change. They don't like change pretty much. It's been this way for a long time. Why are we changing it? This and that. Why not make it stricter? But having tattoos doesn't make you unprofessional. It's how you carry yourself that makes you unprofessional. Uh, I've been in the military for 6 years, and not one person has ever told me that I'm unprofessional. They may say I'm aggressive in how I act, because if I feel a certain way about something, I'm stern about it, especially if it's something to help the better of the people. But I've never been unprofessional in the fact of my tattoos. So you can't really tell me that it's about. You can't really tell me it's not biased when the people that are telling us Congress saying that tattoos are unprofessional. Well, please explain to me how they are unprofessional. Are they unprofessional to you, or is it unprofessional as a whole? Because that's what we are, because we do outnumber the Congress and everybody else in the world. So how is that unprofessional? If that's the case, then I think that blue tuxedos are unprofessional, and all Congress should never wear that again. I have no background behind that, but if I was in Congress, I could say no more blue. So it's just it's very hard to come around. So I know my speech was a little bit long. I just want to let you guys know how I feel a little bit about the tattoo policy, what the tattoo policies are in the major branches, and how they are affecting some people. If you have any questions, please let me know, because I can talk about this for days. So give me some feedback. Let me know how I did. Let me know how the sun was glistening on my bright head, because I just had to shave it off. Let me know how I have facial hair. How is that allowed in the military? I can tell you that too. Why am I wearing earrings? I'm at my house, and so I'm outside and about to enjoy this cold beverage for football. So thank you, and enjoy this video.